The alarm blares long before sunrise, but Mark is already awake. As a single dad, his days start and end with thoughts of his little girl, Lily. He quietly makes his way to the kitchen, preparing breakfast and packing a small lunchbox with her favorites. "I'll try to be home early tonight, sweetie," he promises, kissing her sleeping forehead. It's a promise he makes often, a promise he struggles to keep. His only escape, his only moment for himself, is his morning jog in the city park. The rhythm of his feet hitting the pavement is a meditation, a brief respite from the constant worry about bills and being enough for his daughter. This morning the air is crisp, the city still sleepy. Ahead of him, a woman in sleek running gear moves with a powerful, confident stride. She looks like she has the world at her feet. Then, in a split second, her rhythm breaks. She stumbles, her legs give out, and she collapses onto the path. A few other joggers stop, a wave of panic and hesitation rippling through them, but no one moves forward. Mark doesn't think. He just runs. He drops to his knees beside her, his heart pounding. He checks for a pulse. It's faint. Her breathing is shallow, ragged. Someone in the small crowd that's gathering is on the phone, calling for an ambulance. He sees her chest still and realizes with a jolt of terror she is going into cardiac arrest. His first aid training, a course he took years ago, floods his mind. Without a second thought, he positions his hands over her heart and begins CPR. His hands shake, but his focus is absolute. "Come on, breathe," he mutters, the words a desperate plea. "Just breathe." Each compression is a prayer. The seconds stretch into an eternity. The distant wail of sirens seems miles away. The small crowd watches in silence, their faces etched with fear and awe. He keeps pushing, his arms aching, sweat dripping down his forehead. "Don't you give up," he says to the unconscious woman. Suddenly a sound, a sharp gasp for air. She coughs weakly, her eyelids fluttering. The collective breath of the crowd is released. Relief, so profound it almost buckles him, washes over Mark, her eyes open, dazed, and find his. She looks straight at him and her lips move. She whispers 3 words that make no sense, words he thinks must be a product of her confusion. "I'm your new boss." Just then, paramedics arrive, and the scene becomes a blur of professional efficiency. They load her onto a stretcher, and she's gone. Mark quietly slips away from the crowd, his adrenaline fading, leaving him feeling drained and strangely empty. He thinks it's over. He's late for work, of course. His supervisor gives him a stern lecture, another black mark on his already precarious record at the low-paying office job. He spends the day feeling invisible, just another cog in the machine, his mind replaying the morning's events. Later that afternoon, an all-staff email summons everyone to the main conference hall. The company is getting a new CEO, and she's here for an introduction. The room buzzes with nervous energy. The doors swing open, and a woman walks in, flanked by board members. She's poised, confident, and looks impossibly healthy. It's her, the jogger from the park. A wave of shock ripples through the room as she's introduced as the new CEO. Her name is Eleanor Vance. She begins to speak, her voice calm and authoritative. As she talks, her eyes scan the faces in the crowd, and then they find his. A flicker of recognition. A small, knowing smile touches her lips. Mark feels a hot flush of embarrassment and confusion. What is happening? After the meeting, his desk phone rings. "Mr. Davies? Miss Vance would like to see you in her office." His heart sinks. He's in trouble? For being late? For something else? He walks toward the executive suite on trembling legs. When he enters, she's standing by the window, looking out over the city. She turns and smiles, a genuine, warm smile. "Please sit down, Mark." There's no anger in her voice, only gratitude. "I wanted to thank you," she says, her voice soft. "The doctors told me. They said if it weren't for you, for the immediate CPR, I wouldn't be standing here." She explains she had a previously undiagnosed heart condition. His quick thinking made all the difference. She asks about him, about his life. He finds himself opening up, telling her about Lily, about the struggle of being a single dad, the constant financial pressure. She listens, truly listens, her gaze never wavering. She sees not just a low-level employee, but a man of quiet strength and integrity. "I have an opening," she says suddenly. "A new project manager position." It would be a significant promotion. Mark hesitates, his pride stinging. He doesn't want pity. "This isn't a handout, Mark," she says, as if reading his mind. "You've already proven you can perform under pressure. This is earned." He accepts. It's the start of a new chapter. For the first time in years, Mark can breathe. He can afford better things for Lily, and more importantly, he has more time for her. She notices the change, telling him, "Daddy, you smile more now." At work, he and Eleanor form an unlikely alliance. Their days begin with coffee and conversations in her office. She mentors him, pushing him to reach his potential, and he, in turn, becomes her most trusted confidant. He admires her resilience. She admires his unwavering integrity. Office gossip swirls around them, but they ignore it, focused on their work. He proves his worth time and again, and she becomes his staunchest defender, their bond solidifying into a powerful partnership. One evening, she takes a bold step and visits his home for dinner. The moment she meets Lily, there's an instant connection. The little girl, usually shy, chatters away with Eleanor as if they're old friends. In the warmth of Mark's small, happy home, Eleanor sees a life, a family, a love she's been missing. Later, after Lily is tucked into bed, the air between them shifts. "I never forgot that morning in the park," she admits quietly. "It changed my life," he confesses, "saving you. It ended up saving me too." In that quiet moment, they both realize it wasn't just a random accident or a twist of fate that brought them together. It was something more. From the ashes of a crisis, a deep and abiding love had grown naturally and beautifully. The invisible man was finally seen, and the powerful woman finally found a place to be vulnerable. One single act of courage didn't just save a life. It rewrote two destinies, proving that sometimes your greatest challenge can lead to your greatest love.